that the information can and will change, what can you tell me about the presence of COVID-19 in Guelph?
As of today, and you're right, things can change, not only every day, but every hour, there is no cases of COVID-19 in Guelph at this time.
Now that we have a designated testing center, though, do we expect to see any evidence or numbers rise?
Based on the information I've been told from public health, because that's where most of the information is coming from, it will only be probably a certain time until we do see the presence of COVID-19 come into our area. And so that's why the assessment center has been created, and the agencies involved are ready and been planning for a while to have that ready to go if it does end up at our doorsteps.
So anticipating that the situation could indeed get worse before it gets better, is Guelph General Hospital prepared to handle the more serious cases?
Oh yes, I have full confidence in them. Now the city, doesn't run the hospital. That's run by the CEO, the board of directors there. But from my conversations with them and knowing what they're doing for being prepared, they're doing just excellent work. Having the assessment center separate from the hospital, I think was a smart move to begin with. And then secondary, just yesterday, they planned on stopping elective surgeries to again increase capacity for rooms and doctors and nurses and the availability for people if it does get to a worse point where they need to help people with respirators and all those types of issues in those areas that would normally be taken up. So they're already planning ahead and they're doing a wonderful job.
So we hear the term flattening the curve, trying to stay ahead of everything. Let's talk a little bit about the preventative measures that the city has taken. Tell me about cancellations and closures.
Yeah, so since last Friday, it was sort of a little bit of a slow drip at the beginning, and then all of a sudden, boom, stopping rec centers, our March break programs, things like that. And then over the weekend into this week, it's just become everything is shut down now. And we have obviously services such as, curbside garbage collection, and of course our emergency services are all running. But we've shut down everything else from a public entry area like City Hall behind me, other rec centers, and the museums, the libraries, things like that are all shut down at this time.
What are we doing to support our most vulnerable citizens?
Oh, that's a great question. I've been receiving that for a while, and it was front of mind actually for many of us here as we've been talking over the last several days. And so what I'm really pleased to see actually is there hasn't been a lot of government interference. It's just been a groundswell of people and agencies getting together to figure it out on their own, which can sometimes be better than government interference. And so lots of agencies have come together and they are taking care of it all. Now, of course, there will be government supports, both from the county, provincial, federal government. We're hearing that those types of legislations are being tabled, and that money should start to flow to help the most vulnerable in our community. And then also there's a lot of people that have been calling not to only ask about those people, but how can they help as well. And so that's been a wonderful thing as well. So I'm just encouraging people to reach out to the agencies in town, like the Drop-In Center, Royal City Church, Hope House, Salvation Army, Chalmers United. I could go on, and just ask what they need first before trying to help them out.
And indeed, Guelph was at one time identified as Canada's most caring community, so we're seeing evidence of that now.
Yes, and so yes, the community has completely come together, and in fact there's a lot of online groups both on Facebook and websites that are being created where people can have a dedicated area and page to land on to go and figure out what people need in the community, whether they're our most vulnerable homeless population or just seniors or others that need some help with picking up items or food or things like that. The stories that are coming out of the city are incredible already.
Where can people get the most up-to-date information?
Well, obviously public health is the best place to go, but from an easy standpoint, at the city we have guelph.ca, and if you just go to guelph.ca, there's a red banner there at the top, and you just click on the red banner and it will take you right to all the updated information as we know it when it comes to the COVID-19 issue in our city.